Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your host, the Doctor, in the house. I hope everybody had a great week. I actually brought my notes. The notes, and the notes. So anyway, with this weekend, this week, we're just going to talk about a bunch of things, and then, ride rumor, things that we're hearing, and, a whole bunch of stuff. And then we'll go from there and see what happens. We're also going to talk about Rye. I don't know. It's back. I don't know. Okay. We're connected. I don't know. YouTube police is here to keep everybody safe. Yeah, I know. You know the weird thing about, Thursdays and summertime? People are doing things, and I saw people, hey, forgot. And those that forgot, hopefully you subscribed. And yeah, we're almost at 300. We're starting to, gain some traction. We're starting to do what I wanted to do. And we're going to get there. We are going to get there. My whole goal in life is to get to 1,000 is good. If more come in, hey, so be it. But I don't know. I just like the round number of 1,000. We're going to work on that. And we still got that contest going to get to, if you look on Facebook, to get, 500 subscribers. And then we're going to give away a Rocky Point prize pack, bumper stickers, and keychain and stuff. So that's the first goal. And then the next goal will be better. And then, we're going to keep upping the ante. I'll see what it takes to get to 1,000. I'll come up with something really good. That's what I'll do. I'll come up with some really good contest that's really easy and a really good prize to get everybody to share the hell out of it and make everybody sign up. It'll be awesome. It'll be awesome. But yeah, it's a good week. And also, let's start off with Wednesday. Obviously not yesterday, but next Wednesday is going to be big announcement day for Cedar Fair Parks. Also, out in where the hell is it? Hello, YouTube police. That park. My brain has been really fried with trying to do so many things this week. But that park that's got Outlaw Run, it's owned by Dollywood. I can't think of the name of the park. I used to know it like that, and I can't remember. I know you guys do. I didn't write it down, but that new roller coaster that they're building, that's getting announced next Wednesday too. And all of these Cedar Fair parks are doing their announcements next Wednesday. So you're going to hear about Cedar Point. You're going to hear about King's Dominion. You're going to hear about everybody who's getting something new for next year. You'll hear about it next Wednesday. So Silver Dollar City. Thank you, DJ Dog, for that. Like I said, my brain is just like mush. So, I'm working on that. You've been doing a pre-college thing this week. Actually has one credit course. One credit course. See, I'm an idiot, and please don't follow in my footsteps, people. I never went to college. Never went to college. Back in my day, I graduated in 1996. And back then they said, you don't need to go to college, you can get a great job. And obviously we see how well, I've been lucky. I have an awesome job. I own a company with my dad, and it's pretty successful. And I was blessed with that. That's not, I had to claw my way. My father just didn't hand me the keys to the kingdom and go, here you go, son. He don't work like that. You want to be part owner, you got to work your butt off and prove your worth. That's the good thing, and it really made me who I am today. But in any case, people out there, the kids that are in school, do not follow in my footsteps. Do not follow in my footsteps. Does not have iPad, ignore spelling mistakes. You know what? This isn't school. This is, I spell bad a lot, so I don't judge people if they spell wrong, because I spell wrong a whole hell of a lot. So anyway, we're going to get into that in a moment. You are correct, Luco. College is only one way to the path of success, but not the only way. See, the thing that I hear about people that go to college, whatever you go to school for, the only ones that you really kind of learn stuff with, like doctors and maybe some lawyer stuff. But other stuff, business management and whatever else, if it's like a college course, they don't really teach you what they, unless you go to a trade school or something, they don't really teach you what you're going to school for. You got to kind of learn as you go. And the whole reason of college, especially for those that are amusement park bound, I know there are some of you out there that would like to get, that I've talked to that would like a job in the amusement industry. It's about experience if you can get it. Two, you're just going to have to learn, but they're going to give you a couple basic things, you know. You know what? If your dream, D-Dog, is DJ Dog to go to UCF, do whatever you can to do it. Make it happen. Don't let nobody don't take the word no. I mean, unless the school says, hey, buzz off, you ain't getting in here. But don't let nobody tell you no. If that's your goal, work hard and show them what you're made of, and you can do it. Put the work in. Don't be lazy. That's just what nobody owes you nothing. So if you want to go, DJ Dog, you want to go for amusement park management. I mean, I don't know what that takes to get into that, but I'm sure you can find out. But one of the biggest things, if that's what you want to do, is you're in school. While you're in high school and stuff, and you're of working age, go work at a park. You might have to clean the trash or clean the toilets, and then you move on up. That's the only way. That's the true experience. And I'll give you Six Flags as an example. They hire from within. If you're capable, you can move on up. So if you're looking to get to some park, go work at that park that you like, if that's where you want to manage one day. It's going to take a little bit of time, but parks do hire from within. And Lindsay, to answer about does Ace need a historian, I have no idea. They may have one, they may not. I would contact somebody in the executive committee. Talk to someone such as Dave Libnicki. Just if you go on Ace's website, you can find out who the committee is. I'm so out of the loop with that. You can, if you just go on Ace's website, you can find out who the committee is, and then you can email them. They get back to you, and you can ask, and they'll let you know if they need any help. So that's that's one of the avenues you could take for that. Now I can give an example of I always give an example of Six Flags just because I know the people and stuff that they've told me, in conversation about how they, I've always asked them, how'd you get started, and I find all those facts interesting. It's not something that the everyday person cares about or knows about. So I ask just because I'm fascinated with the whole. I'm fascinated with the whole industry from all aspects. And I ask, and they say, well, I started doing this at this park, and then I moved my way up, and then I moved on to this different company or park, and they get moved around, and then they find where they go. So that happens all the time. So if that's something you want to do down the road, then always stay the course, and if it's what you want, work, show, don't be the lazy guy. Well, Lindsay, I would just go to aceonline.org and look through the menus. I'm not like the contact us. It shows you who the executive committee members are, the president, the vice president, this guy, that guy, whoever. They can, you can just email them, tell them what tell them what, talk to them. They'll talk to you. That's, DJ Joe, that's just the way it is. A lot of, like, the president that you had at Six Flags New England before John Winkler, I forgot what his name is. He was only there for a year. And he worked to be a parking lot attendant. That's how he started, moved up, and worked in corporate and worked here and there and everywhere. But, yeah, that's... They see people that are highly motivated. You got to be successful in any business. You got to be hungry, and what I mean hungry is not have a plate of food on your desk, but hungry means you're eager to work, you're willing to do what it takes. And for those that want to be in it doesn't matter if it's amusement park, anything in life. That's just what you do. You got to show that you're hungry and do the good work. And trust me, I've seen it, and even in my own company, we do the same thing. We recognize that, and we promote the ones that need to be promoted, and so do in other places. Because there's people that just kind of do the bare minimum, I'm just there collecting a paycheck. Those people never move anywhere. I want to say that the Dippin' Dots, guy, girl, whoever, is hired by the park. The stuff like, Dippin' Dots, anything that's with a, I think the only thing that's fishy, and I have to talk to somebody that I don't think is hired by the park, is the Flash Pass people. But all the food places, Panda Express, Johnny Rockets, Dippin' Dots, at Six Flags, I believe, I'm not 100% correct, but I believe that the park hires them, puts them there. They're just paying a franchise fee. They get trained on how it's supposed to be done. And, it's kind of like if you wanted to buy a Subway. You go, the process for Subway is back in 2004 or 5, whatever it was, you had to have $180,000 cash plus then a little extra cash. But it cost $180,000 to open a Subway. You had to pay something like 5 to 8% royalty fee, on your earnings. You had to go to the Subway University in Connecticut on Bick Drive for 2 weeks. There's a whole thing, and then you got to take a test. You pass the test, then you can open your store. I'm sure it's pretty similar for having a Johnny Rockets or a Dippin' Dot stands, and I'm sure it's pretty similar in the business sense like that. Somebody asked me about, do you think the teacups will be removed at Six Flags New England? Now, I don't have the 100% answer on this. I've heard plenty of rumors about things, and that's in my notes. I don't know how many saw the Screamscape news yesterday. And the Screamscape news says, where did I put it? There's a Frisbee ride. If you know, LeBron got Titan, and Six Flags Discovery Kingdom got Wonder Woman's Lasso of Truth. They're believing that it's going in that end, and so on and so forth. I've heard things. I cannot speak on things because not at the moment. One, it's not been 100% confirmed, and I should have that confirmed by probably next week. Maybe even this weekend. I don't want to say it and be wrong. I mean, I know it's a rumor, but in case I'm right, we'll leave that. I will spill the beans once I know. The park itself is not going to tell me. The park itself does not tell me, hey, this is what we're getting. They're trying to nip the things in the bud, nip them in the bud there. They don't want, they're trying to keep it as secret as possible. I mean, that's just the way it is. In today's world, you can't keep things a secret. Especially, like when they had the Wicked Cyclone thing. When you got Rocky Mountain Coaster and it's being ripped apart and you see coaster enthusiasts know stuff. It's the general public that don't know. It's the general public that don't know. See, to the park, in a sense, with these announcements, it's not for us. It's for the GP, because we always find out stuff. We can always find out a leak. Somebody hears it and then passes it down the road. And then it just snowballs like hell. I know in meetings I've had with the park, they don't like it when we put it all over social media of what we found out. They don't want us to put it out anywhere, but we kind of slip it in the forums, and it's not really for public viewing. It's just for us when we go on the forums and we read that, and if we post on the forums, we just ask that, hey, don't go all over your Facebook page or Twitter page or Six Flags, so don't bring it over there. This is all like a surprise Christmas thing for the GP. We all get excited when we see what we're getting, and I really wish I didn't know what I knew when I know things. It kind of ruins it. Like, I remember before I started getting into knowing all the rumors and stuff, and I used to wait for the announcement. I'd get up early in the morning, and be excited like everybody else. And then now, the way the information highway is, everybody wants the information now. Nobody wants to wait. I mean, as soon as Joker was announced, and then we got into the new year, and Joker was almost ready to open, it was like, hey, we know it's Joker, we're going to ride it, now what's next? And most people don't want to. People are so our attention span is really short, and we know it, we see it. It's not open, but we're going to ride it. We want to know what the next thing is without even embracing and enjoying what we have. And, I try my best not to let the stuff out of the bag when I find out. And, that's why I try to maintain a healthy relationship with the park. When they say, hey, take it down, we take it down. Not because of listening to the big man. It's out of respect. You know what I'm saying? They don't complain when they've seen it on the forums. They complain when they see it on Facebook. So we should probably keep all the secret stuff that's not supposed to be out off of Facebook and put it on the forums. So then that way you guys can see the forums and see it. Someone can confirm SFNE is adding a loss at Lupa called Fireball. Well, we've got that. Alrighty. So to your question, I know things. I'm not saying things. And I'll leave it at that for right now. As we get closer to the announcements on August 31st, we'll post some gems. So you're just going to have to wait a little bit longer for myself to spill some beans. What I can tell you this is Teacups is not being removed. I can say that. That I can say. I can say that Teacups is not being removed. We'll leave it at that. So, that's that in a nutshell. Alright, so the Ohio State Fair. We all been talking about, the guy dying, flying up in the air. My kids were laughing about it, thinking it was a joke. I know. Anyway, they've done the testing and all that. They did a investigation and found that it was extensive corrosion. The ride's 18 years old. So, that's the cause of what made it, it is what it is. Unfortunate, but it'll probably help make the case a little better for those that are, the family is going to sue for wrongful death, and quite unfortunate. And that's the kind of the price you pay with carnival rides and all that. Yeah, you better get your last rides in on Wicked Cyclone. I hear it's getting RMC'd, and it's going to be called Super Duper Wicked Cyclone. That's what I hear. You heard that first. New for 2018. Super Duper Wicked Cyclone. Yeah, I wrote it. I almost didn't ride it. I was almost too fat for it. I was like, that close. That close. All right, so, I don't know how many people know about Golden Ticket Awards. Those are coming up really soon. September 8th through 9th. They got events held at Quasi, and they got events held at Lake Compounce. The Golden Ticket Awards are held at Lake Compounce. And you can watch it being streamed live. They do that. And we talked about that last week. So that following week, that Thursday after that, we will talk about the Golden Ticket Awards. We can talk about what we felt was good, what was felt was bad, what they got right, what they got wrong. So we'll talk about that as that comes on. And somebody said, I think it was Coaster Box said, SFNE is overdue for a water park and a kiddie land expansion. I agree. It can't always be about roller coasters. I mean, we all love roller coasters, right? We all love them. But you can't just be a roller coaster park. You have to, kind of balance out. One of the times that I've spoken with, the park management, and they ask me for ideas. I shoot them ideas and stuff, or I get in a creative mood, and I send them an email, say, hey, I saw this, and maybe you guys should look into this for the future. Do they stream it outside the theater, or does the park close early for it? Good question. I don't know what time it starts. As it gets close, a little bit closer, they'll start putting more information out. So, and then once we find out where the stream is, we'll put it out on Facebook so everybody can watch. I know I said before, we watched it here, right in this spot. We're watching it on this computer and playing pinball and watching the awards, and we're like, we were like boo or yay or kind of like who cares. The Golden Ticket Awards are fun. But back to water park and kiddie expansion, you're not getting that next year. I can tell you that right now. It's probably going to be either 2019 or 2020 is when you're going to get a water park expansion. They're probably one of those. You may get like a water slide, and probably maybe you'll get a. What I really would love to see is where it's Kidsopolis and they turn that into DC, the Kid Land, like they do out in Six Flags Over Georgia. I would really like to see that. Probably won't happen, but I would like to see it. I know Magic Mountain is lacking for flat rides. They're lacking for a lot of things. I know they got a ton of coasters, and you got to balance it out. So when I talk to Six Flags, I'm like, you guys need about 4 or 5 more flats, and you need a dock ride. And this was last year I said that, and I said, and then you'll be a very well balanced park. I mean, they got a boatload of coasters for the size of the park. They're starting to, build up things, do things, and I would really like to see them expand on that. I like to see them add some more flats. I'd like to see them add a dock ride. We would all love a dock ride, whether it's Justice League or some other creative thing that they do, but they need it. If they had the dock ride and they had some more flats that people wanted to ride, you could have an array of packages for, you can package it. You can do stuff like, you could get like 3 or 4 classic flats and go, hey, going back in time, ride the classics of yesteryear. You can get like Flyers and Tilt-A-Whirl and some other older, kind of like what Cedar Fair did last year. Well, for this year, they went out and they went and they got some awesome flats, and then they did some cool things, and they put them in a bunch of parks, added some, refurbished them, and they did their thing. I really think Six Flags needs to go that route. That's me, but that's what I think. I don't know what you guys think, but I really think that they should probably go in that kind of direction. This whole coaster after coaster after coaster, and really the ride selection, these loopers and jokers for everybody, that's got to go away. And Sky Screamers, we've had the discussion a million times why they did it, but they kind of need to start diversifying each park, and being the same just isn't cool. It really isn't. It's lost its. It never became a thing, and people just get more angry and angry and angry as time goes on. Somebody says, Coaster Box 2021 launch coaster and blizzard spot ? More leaning on flashback. I think if and when, it's not a matter really of if, it's when they get rid of Blizzard River. I can see maybe like a family-sized Woody going in there. Not too crazy. Maybe around Thunderbolt size, maybe a little bigger. But something more along the lines to get some younger kids on it. Have another Woody in the park. Maybe not going to happen. I would more than love to see Goliath and Flashback leave. And like my suggestion was station with Flashback. Make it go over the little midway there. go into Goliath spot, do its thing, come back, and there you have a coaster. You could actually get what I would really love to see. I don't know if they would be willing to do it. Would be Skyrocket like they got at Kennywood. Matter of fact, Phobia is considered Skyrocket 2. That's the second version of the Skyrocket. But I would love to see the Skyrocket version 1 go into Six Flags. 48-inch height requirement, I believe. Packs a punch. Great ride. Comfortable. Doesn't hurt. It has a pretty decent layout. Small footprint. I mean, you would still have plenty of room left over in the Goliath spot for a flat or two, probably. And I see a Jessica Vitti. Hello, hello, hello. So that's what I would like to see. My personal opinion on what things I would like to see. It's Alyssa. What are you doing, Alyssa? The problem that let's see, he says he feels like Cedar Fair is starting to get better and Six Flags is starting to go down. It's kind of really on par with each other. Really. The only difference is Cedar Fair is doing their stuff one way, and they've always done their stuff one way, and Six Flags has always done, I mean, before current management, there was the Coaster Wars. And the Coaster Wars, while great for us, bad for the two companies. They got in major debt. So I don't think we're gonna see the Coaster Wars again in that capacity. I think the parks need to cut that crap out and really just start rounding the parks out, adding what they need. Not go, hey, well, I need to. I mean, it's all about shareholders, so they got to make them happy. So they're gonna add the biggest bang for their buck. A wood launch coaster like Lightning Rod. I don't think, well, one of that size probably wouldn't fit there just because of the whole, what do you call it, wetlands thing. I mean, what you could do, see, they can build on the wetlands back there. But what they need to do is they need to be able to find a way that it's not going to disturb the wetlands. There's a way around that, and they can do that. What they can do is the track that they build down there, they could put the poles where it's not going to affect the flow of the water and affect anything and make it just go around. It could be done. You got to go through some red tape and some baloney. You would get a steel coaster. You would not get a wood in that area. It just isn't going to happen, unfortunately, just because the wood coasters need more support, structured supports, and you just can't do that. In that, I mean, you can, but you can't. There's just a lot of baloney. It's easy just to do a steel coaster around there, less disturbing and stuff like that. Car in Red Force. Well, I mean, realistically, the only thing that's really missing from Six Flags is a launch. I mean, you get all different kinds of variety of coasters. You got floorless. You got inverted. You got wooden, you got RMC, you got flashback, you got Goliath, you got spinning, you got mouse, you got kiddie coasters. You got your Jokers, your Batmans, your Mind Erasers, your Supermans. You got all kinds of stuff. Now, if anything, you're gonna see. I mean, I don't know what you would get for a launch. I mean, maybe you can get like one of those custom motor coasters. Could be done. You can get a custom one of those. That could probably go over in the area by Blizzard River over there. Could be a something that could come to the park at some point. All right. SeaWorld is hitting a world of crap. And it looks like they're starting to move towards... they're not publicly saying it yet, but their shares and the attendance and the money and everything's down. And it looks like they're moving in a direction they may sell. They may sell the theme parks. So there is rumors floating around that if that happens and if whatever's going on, that Merlin company, the Merlin Group, may be the company that comes in and buys them. And the people that own Merlin, just for an example of a chain of parks that they own, would be Legoland. So we'll see what happens with that. But it seems that they might be on the buyer's list to buy SeaWorld Busch Gardens. So we'll see how that works out. Walt Disney World and Epcot. Rumor floating around about a Mary Poppins meet and greet. It's going to look like Cherry Tree Lane. It's going to pop up in the UK pavilion. It's going to be small in scale, but mainly for Mary Poppins character meet and greets. There's other rumors swirling around, like a Mary Poppins dock ride. And but they said it's not going to be like a huge expansion, and there's got the area for it to expand. And it's just a rumor going around. They talked with some Imagineer that actually designed the Mary Poppins dock ride. And so it's something that they're probably looking to do. Because with 2021 coming around and a lot of rides are going to be opening throughout Walt Disney World, the parks are going to be busy that year. That's definitely a year you don't want to go. You definitely want to skip out in 2021. Parks are going to be crazy. Parks are going to be busy. And, you know. I wonder how 3 parks will work in Florida, if any are to close. I say SeaWorld Orlando would close if all 3 can't be supported. I think they can be supported in the terms of SeaWorld. Here's the problem. They really screwed up when Blackfish came out. I mean, the death thing, that set it off. When a trainer got killed by the killer whale. And then Blackfish came out, though a one-sided documentary. I've never seen it, but from what I heard, it's a one-sided documentary. Their PR people really dropped the ball on it. I mean, I support SeaWorld. I love SeaWorld. I love what they do. I love visiting. I have nothing against it. By any means, of any means, period. I love going and look at the killer whales and all the different sea life. I'm all about it. I love it. It's cool. They really need to kind of up the ante with their parks. I mean, as time goes on, you're probably going to start seeing less and less animals. That's just what's going to happen. As PETA sticks their nose and everything. Realistically, if they want to survive, they need to kind of let the world know and see more of the animal care, what they actually do, to see how the animals are treated, and even like the rides themed to, if you look, I mean, I know I heard a lot of bad stuff about the jet ski launch coaster being horrible. I've heard a lot of, I haven't ridden it, so I don't know. But, there's a theme to it, and that's what they need. They need to keep putting in the minds of people that, hey, and they need to admit that they screwed up or do something. They need to do something. They need to get their PR on board. They're going to have to kind of lower the prices a little bit to get the people in the doors. They're going to have to add more rides. They're going to have to do a little bit of everything. The Busch Gardens parks are doing fine. It's supposedly, anyway. Well, they're doing a lot better than SeaWorld. People are kind of like, they're going to kind of let the storm. It's going to take them a few more years to kind of get out of the rut. But until they get out of that rut, it's not going to look good. But I don't see them. I mean, I would be shocked if they closed their doors. Yeah, we know Edaville's getting that water coaster. That thing's been standing there for like 3 years being built. And it'll finally open up next year, which is great. Okay, we talked about that. Lake Compounds, I saw 2018 passes are on sale. Platinum passes are $84.99. Diamond passes are $124.99. But I'll keep you updated when the sales are, because Black Friday sale get them a lot cheaper. What if you got ants in your pants and you need to go buy them now, you can. Hershey Park. I don't know how many saw the Hershey announcement, Hershey Park. See, we're thinking the same thing. They're adding 2 water rides to the boardwalk area, water park area, which I think is excellent. The first one is called Breaker's Edge. It's a water coaster. They say it's their 14th coaster in the park. It's the world's first hydromagnetic coaster with flying saucer turns. Then they got White Cap Races, world's longest mat racer, with two 360-degree loops, has 6 lanes. Construction begins the day after Labor Day. A lot of people actually have been asking me since this announcement, they're like, they got all that land, when the hell are they going to do an expansion? You know, a coaster or more rides or whatever the hell they're doing. If you remember, we announced, I don't know how long ago, well, in June, July, whenever, American Coaster Enthusiast CoasterCon will be in the year 2020. So 2 more years. Well, 3 more years, technically. 2 years and change. So with that being said, I expect, what do you call it? I expect by 2020, probably that year, right before CoasterCon, I expect, not that I expect like, you know, like a brat, you know, that's entitled. I'm just saying, I expect to see a coaster right around CoasterCon. And the reason why parks usually tend to open coasters around CoasterCon is Golden Ticket Awards. Most of the ACE members are Golden Ticket Award voters, such as myself and others. So, with that being said, I mean, they try to do that. The parks love to win awards, so a lot of times the host park will can possibly win friendliest staff or clean park or whatever. If they get a new ride, best new ride, they can get their rides put up in the up in the rankings. You know, like the top 50 or 2,500, whatever they got. So parks like that. I mean, you know, you have your Oscars and everything for movies, and you get, you have Grammys for music. Well, Golden Tickets is for the amusement park industry, and by all means, they love winning them awards. Because parks, post that around the park proudly that they were voted #1 coaster or best food or best this or best that, best new ride for the year. Lightning Rod, I don't see it yet. Only because I can't see that. I mean, a lot of people have ridden it by now, but I don't feel rides that have been broken in the first couple of years like that. I mean, I know it's growing pains and they're working on stuff. I don't feel they should be allowed to win. If you can't keep that ride open, that's kind of like cheating. Like last year, they should have never won Best New Ride for 2016. And it's not that I hate I love Dollywood. I haven't ridden it. I can't even say I hate the ride or I love it. I'm probably going to love the hell out of it. It's just, in terms of reality, it was, let me pucker up and kiss your ass. That's all it is. Because if you look at who wins everything all the time, it's always the same people that win over and over and over and over and over again. And it's kind of like making the awards kind of illegitimate. People are fanboys of things, and they will vote that ride till the day they die. It used to always bounce back between Millennium Force and Superman. And then now you got Fury in it, and people love Fury, and then that's the new thing. So, hello, Clorox Bleach. My evening is delicious. And how about yours? Are you drinking bleach tonight, Clorox? So it just gets like that. People are fanboys. They just get it stuck in their head. I have no problem voting against any ride. If I find a ride that I love, I'm going to vote for that ride. So that's just how it works in my mind. So you could be right. It could win #1 wood. You could be absolutely positively correct. It's just how people vote. They're like, oh, Dollywood. I love Dollywood, so I'm voting for it even if I haven't. And I think you shouldn't be able to vote on the ride if you've never ridden it. I don't think you should just vote for it because... And that's what I think a lot of people did last year. Because not enough people got to ride the ride when the voting was open. Because that voting's only open for a short period of time. It's not like the whole summer into the day before the awards. That stuff ends. They've known the winner for a while now. They know who's already won. So, I think if you have not ridden it, you're not supposed to vote. That's lying, cheating. So I just hope that people can stop doing that. What's the next thing? Six Flags Great America rumor that I heard. Actually, I saw it on Screamscape, and I heard it. I seen it posted somewhere else besides them on Facebook. But a rumor floating around is they're going to get a bigger custom Larson loop for next year. But they're also going to get a water slide, a gift shop, and a restaurant for the water park. But it's also talk around the campfire that their water park is now going to become a separate gate and not included with the park. So it'll be, like Great Adventure. I feel that all those water parks are going to be like that at some point. I really do. Like even Six Flags New England, I think that's going to happen. But that's just me. LeRon's rumor is a Larson loop. Universal Halloween Horror Night. There's a rumor floating around. The next haunt that's going to be announced is going to be Jigsaw from the Saw series. And did I get all my... The last tidbit of news, and then I'll get into Ryes Playland. This Saturday, do not forget, if you're looking to go to the park, it looks like it's going to rain a little bit at some point Saturday. Probably in the morning. I don't know if it's going to rain all day. I got to look. But go check out... If you're going to the park on Saturday, go to the picnic area. I think like 8:30 it starts. Finding Dory. A lot of people probably seen it. People who don't want it probably don't care. But it's free. It doesn't cost you an extra dime. You can go down there, chill in the grass with your with everybody, and go watch Finding Dory. Like I said, I watched Lego Batman, and it was awesome. I've seen Finding Dory, and I loved it. I know I'm a grown ass man, and I love Pixar kid movies. My kids don't even like those stupid movies. I love them. I think they're great. So with that being said. You can go check out the movie, and there's also ERT on the Joker if you're interested in that as well for Saturday. I am not going to the park Saturday due to where I go play Pinball League is getting their Star Wars limited edition pinball, and they're having a release party Saturday from 2 to 10, so that's where I'm going to be playing some Star Wars pinball. And other pinball, of course. There's a little tournament going on. So I'll be doing that, of course. So it's all in the good. It's all in the good in the hood. All right, so let's talk about LeRon. Coasters on Rye. For those that don't know, the last time Ace had an event there was 2010. And I actually went to that with AJ. And I actually fell in love with the park. It's a small park. It's not... Have you heard of the Pixar theory? I have heard some theory, and I've seen some of the stuff, how they're all interconnected. But I don't remember the whole thing on that. So I don't... I know of the theory, and I know I saw some video talking about this huge theory, and I don't remember the whole thing. And I remember it being cool. It kind of blew my mind when you kind of like sit there and think about it. So, yeah, that's all I remember from it, because I saw that theory a while ago. Anyway, so for those that don't know, Ryes Playland's in Rye, New York. Exit 19? I think 21, 19. I forgot. 95, and heading from Connecticut into New York. And for those that don't know this, I don't know how many of you have seen the movie Big with Tom Hanks, 80s movie. One of the end scenes, when he was an adult and he wish he was small again as a kid, and he's on a boardwalk. Well, that boardwalk still looks the same today as it did back then. You turn this corner and bam! I posted a picture on Facebook Saturday when I went there, and the Dragon Coast is cool. The cool thing I like it is you go in the dragon's mouth, and then that dragon poops you out. The coaster was made in the 20s, so it's been pooping people out since the 1920s. It's kind of cool. And then when you go in the mouth, it makes a roar, like a dragon kind of thing. It's cool. One of the other rides that are there's a couple of the iconic rides, which is the Old Mill. I don't know how many of you have been on an Old Mill water ride, small little boat. Those that have been to Kennywood, they call it Garfield's Nightmare. But it's themed to trolls, and it's a really cool water dock ride kind of thing. That's worth the admission itself, besides the rest of the park. Then they have Derby Race, which is a different type of carousel. It's not your traditional carousel. It's like derby horses. There's 4 in a row, and the way they're supposed to work is they go really fast, and then they also. We are the Chainsmokers. Hi, the show. If you want free music for your content, then come to my page. Hello, we are the Chainsmokers. Anyway, so it goes a lot faster, and you actually have to kind of like lean, and the horses, they're moving back and forth, they're racing, and Ryes Playland actually refurbished this, so it does the whole shebang. It goes fast and it moves. Now, Cedar Point also has one. There's only 3 in the world. There's 1 in the UK. Cedar Point only moves. It doesn't go really fast. It's pretty slow. But Ryes gets the whole package. So we rode that. Great ride. It's actually pretty intense for a carousel type ride. It really is, because by the times you get off, your hands hurt. People are like, oh, you're holding on for dear life, and it really is a great ride. I mean, that place has a lot of great classic rides. They got a couple dock rides that are phenomenal. They got Zombie Castle. I can't remember the other one, but it's got a witch on it, and Freddy Krueger and some other monsters on it, and just typical old school kind of dock rides. Really, really great. They have a crazy mouse. It's got like no brakes on it. It just goes, and it's probably not really the Chainsmokers. I wish it was really the Chainsmokers and they were fans, and that would be cool. That'd really be cool if they were. So yeah, they had they have arcades. They had pinball in it. They got a flume ride. I highly doubt you're one of the guys that are in the Chainsmokers band. I'm not trying to be an ass. I would really wish you were like one of the real big-time Chainsmokers. No offense. In this day and age, it's really hard to believe anybody. There's too many trolls and there's too many things. And if you are, hey, that's pretty badass. But I seriously don't. I've heard of the Chainsmokers. Great band. I just don't think they're necessary. That We Are the Chainsmokers is exactly part of the Chainsmokers. I wasn't born yesterday. I really don't think the Chainsmokers really have time to be sitting on YouTube on my awesome video podcast about amusement parks and stuff. I really wish they did. I wish anybody did. I wish anybody would. But I just think that's a bunch of BS, and no offense. I mean, what would somebody from the band be doing in here? I would love it. I would totally love it. But, I mean, let's be real for a moment. You got a big band and a guy from the band going, hey, I'm here rocking out to the Grove Show. That would be awesome, but I know it ain't true. My sad little show. But in any case, they're up late, drunk and high, and they're like, let's go watch this dumbass talk about coasters on Rye. Rawr. I know that sounded like a really bad pirate and had nothing to do with Paris and people, but you get the point. But anyway, so Ryes Playland, they got a flume ride. That's pretty cool. They got a big splash boat ride. I know they're going to be adding something next year. And, I don't know, it's definitely, the problem is that the park is small, that you really don't want to spend, like the whole day and night there. Some people do. I left about 6 o'clock, and then I had to get home. You know, but we all had fun. We had exclusive ride time on Dragon Coaster and the Kiddie Coaster, and mind you, the only way for someone that credit whores like I do and everybody else, the only way to get that kiddie credit is at an event. Hey, it's Chris Harvey. What up, homie G? I am a serial killer doctor that likes to take random people, and I know Chris Harvey, so you don't have to. You can rag him a little bit. I know he's one of my buddies from pinball. He knows the story, but I'm really a serial killer doctor that likes to take random people and just chop them up, and I drop them off in bags everywhere. You know, it's kind of my thing. Dr. Giggles. You know, I was a failed doctor in a hospital, and I decided to chop people up. You never knew that, did you? Watch the feds come kicking in my door. Imagine that. Well, I know he's clarifying a rap name. I'm clarifying my what used to be my secret hobbies until I just decided to tell my secret hobbies. I just like to chop people up. So yeah, if you've never been to Ryes Playland out in Rye, New York, go check it out. Plus, you don't have to go into the city to go there. It's on the way, and they have a whole bunch of pinball machines in the arcade, and it's a cool little place. I mean, it only cost us $20 or something like that to get in for the event. I know the tickets normally are a little bit more money, but it was awesome. And for those that are looking to go to the Lake Compounds event, tonight by 11:59 p.m. is online registration only. And if you are an ACE member without a season pass, it's $46. If you have a season pass, it's $24. And for those that don't know what this event has in it, this is kind of cool. And somebody like Chris, for those that, you see Chris here, I've known Chris for about a year now. I met him at Pinball League. Cool dude. Him and his wife, awesome people. Love hanging out with them. I would love a Dr. G theme park. Maybe people might go missing in it. I might just take a random guest and chop, 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 and stab, slice, chop, whatever. But anyway, what the hell was I talking about? See, I get caught up in my own baloney, and I just like to talk and ramble. I was talking about Rye. Oh, Lake Compounds event. That's what it is. So anyway, I guess in the morning before the park open. No, while the park is open, you get exclusive ride time on the log flume for an hour, and then it includes admission. It includes free parking. You have to pay to park, and then you go to the guest services, and they give you back the money. I'm gonna go Excalibur on that one, Coaster Box. And then around from 5 to 7 or 7:30, you get this amazing all-you-can-eat buffet. I mean, it's fat guy paradise. I love it. You get the macaroni and cheese. You get burgers, hot dogs. You get baked potato bar, salad bar, taco bar. I think there's ribs. There's barbecue chicken. There's like those ice cream, eclair things on a stick, strawberry ones, popsicle, little ice cream in a cup, soda. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really good fat people food. I love it. It's well worth it. And then at nighttime this year, what they're doing, and the rumor is tomorrow, I'm not 100% sure, but tomorrow, Wildcat Coaster will finally reopen, but don't hold me to that because I do not know yet. We're waiting, but it's supposed to open tomorrow. And anyway, you're going to get exclusive ride time on Boulder Dash, Phobia, and Wildcat once the park closes. So when the park is out of there, you can have them for an hour or whatever. You can have some ERT all to yourself. So if you're a member, go do that if you're looking to go, because it's going to be... that's one of the events in New England I love, because the food alone. And plus it's Boulder Dash. Riding a wood coaster through the mountain is pretty awesome. Especially in the dark. Does Lake Compound Season Pass allow access to other Palace parks? It does not. I've actually Facebooked and called, and I've talked to Jerry Brick, the park manager at Lake Compounds, and it's only good for that park. They don't have a pass that allows you to get into other parks. They don't run like that. I'm sure maybe down the road they might do that, but right now they don't. So if you buy a pass at Lake Compounds, you can't go to Storyland. You can't go, here, there, and everywhere. It's unfortunate because, like, I would, if I could do that with my pass, I would go to Kennywood and I would go to I know Storyland's a little kiddie park and it's really made for like little tiny kids. I've never heard of that place, Chris, King's Castle Land. The only parks I heard about in Mass was like Lincoln Park, the zoo there. What the hell's the zoo? Oh, Benson's Animal Farm. And I heard of, what the hell is the one? Not Paragon. Oh my God. I need to be slapped. I'm forgetting all these park names. I think it begins with a W. Costa Kev's brother's been trying to reopen it in Mass. He's been trying to get funding for it. Whalen Park, that's what it is. He's been trying to reopen Whalen Park. Man, King's Castle Land. That must be like old school because I've never heard of it. I didn't even know it existed. It's kind of like Crescent Park in Rhode Island. Like, I knew it existed. I mean, it burned down and closed before my time. And I know you can still go on the Crescent Park carousel, but that thing's gone. Yeah, Dutch Wonderland is also a kiddie park. I love the kiddie parks. Like, I actually want to go to Sesame Street Park out in Pennsylvania. I love that stuff. There's actually a cool, quirky park. I forgot the hell the name of it, but it's up near Six Flags Great Escape. Up there, and it's all like kiddie rides, but it looks creepy as hell. And it's like $20 to get in or something. We only had an hour left, and we did the whole park in an hour, but it was creepy. It was really creepy, and but it was a cool place. I forgot the hell the name of the place, but if you ever go up to Six Flags Great Escape up in upstate New York there. Definitely go. It's like on the same road. It's before the park. Go check that little weird park out. It is creepy, but you can ride all the kiddie rides because I rode them. There was a whole bunch of us with my two kids, and we rode the hell out of it. And we had a blast. I mean, they were like old school kiddie rides you haven't seen since you were like a little kid. They don't exist most places anymore because they're old. But it was like in a forest. And there was all these cool little weird kiddie rides that you could ride, and it was awesome. Yeah, I mean, SeaWorld. All they have to do is they need to get new PR people. If they can fix their PR situation, they need to regain the trust of the people. And right now, with Peter just slamming them every 5 seconds, and then they're brainwashing people, even celebrities, into getting them to smack them down, and you even get Steve-O from Jackass going, "Hey, SeaWorld sucks." I mean, I've said it, and I'll say it a million times. Without SeaWorld, most, scientists, biologists and stuff that study all the ocean stuff, all these scientists and doctors and vets and stuff, they would not know a damn thing about a lot of these sea creatures if it wasn't for SeaWorld. They go into the facilities and they can study them, and that's like the best way to do it. Peter doesn't really exactly have the best track record with animals. I think it was something like under 100 in the animal shelters were adopted. They killed like thousands. They're always killing animals. But they want to go to, Ringling Brothers and go, no, elephants for you. And no, SeaWorld, no, killer whales for you, and you can tell how big of hypocrites they are because of the fact that they only go after certain animals. They don't go after dolphins. They don't go after sea lions. They don't go after sea turtles. They don't go after little clownfish. They don't go after sharks. They go after the killer whale. They don't go after the beluga whale. They go after the killer whale. You know what I'm saying? Their priorities are totally wrong. They're picking the wrong thing. And that's why I think over time, if SeaWorld can fix their PR issues, their internal issues, get their stuff together, they can be great again. No, I'm not Trump, and I'm not trying to make America great again. I just want to see SeaWorld great again. SeaWorld's a great park. I don't give a crap what anybody says. I think SeaWorld is awesome. I love going to be able to do anything that I possibly can at that park. I loved when I was able to go in the shark cage inside that shark exhibit. I did that. I think that was like 2009. They don't do it anymore. You know what I'm saying? What they need is stuff. I mean, they have stuff like that. You can go feed a penguin, play with a penguin. They're doing more, more behind the scenes stuff, and that's what they need. Maybe they should lower the prices a bit so more of the general public can do it. I mean, you don't want to make it too cheap where it sells out in 2 seconds, but you want to do it enough at a good enough price that people that are coming there can enjoy it. If they have enough animal encounters where people can see how they're being cared for, what they eat, learn about the animal, and right now they should just focus on the rides, fix that whole killer whale fiasco with the bigger tank, and I think they'll be on the right path. They're going to have to kind of suck it up for the next, I say within the next 5 years they should be okay if they turn it around. If not, they're in trouble. They just need somebody internally that can step up and say, hey, this is how you fix it, and just do it. You gotta figure out the right PR move. They need to be able to battle against the blackfish, but in a way that kind of opens people's minds and say, hey, they only told their side. They tried to tell their side and it didn't work. They backfired. They took too long, and people didn't want to hear it. Guilty. So they need to come out and do something different. I don't know what that is, but they need to do it, and then everything will be fine. But now they should just focus on the rides, fix their killer whale thing, and put, all that stuff, all the good stuff about what they do, front and center in the parks at all times. If they could do that, SeaWorld would be awesome. I don't want to see a place like SeaWorld go away. None of them. I want to see them all succeed. They need to actually open more of them around the country. More people need to know about anything. It's like a zoo. People love to go to the zoo. They like to see the monkeys, the elephants, the giraffes, whatever animals they got. This is the sea version of, it's an aquarium. Just with bigger, cooler things, and it's got rides. So that's what I like. So anyway, wow, we're over the 10 o'clock mark. But in any case, so we're going to get going in a few. But I got some videos I got to, make. I got a bunch of stuff from Ryes. I got to get stuff from Luco about Coney Island that he did. I will look into, I don't know how to do all that. I'm kind of like technologically dumb. But I will be in touch. Mr. YouTube Police. We will also, I'll also talk about Star Wars Pinball because, we cover everything. We will talk about, supposedly, I'm going to go to Six Flags in New England with Luco and Jessica and Alyssa and, some people. So we're going to go hang out there. So we're going to do some sneaking around, some investigation for next year. So maybe next week I'll have something to talk about that. And we'll talk about next week we will talk about all the ride announcements coming up for next week. And we'll see what else comes into play. So until next week, I will see you all, same bat time, same bat channel. And until next week, keep on coasting, y'all. Peace out, y'all. Bye.